hi. Total noob didn't even turn on the headset. Total noob. Uh, so next thing on my to-do list is to make a to-do list of things I need to do before I go live on Twitch. Thank you, Jelly Glob. It is very much appreciated. So I suppose I can start over from the beginning. What was the beginning? We're almost done with the Space Invaders. We started on orange one last time, and so here's how far we are on orange guy. Doot, orange. Should pull out this yarn, and I'm not even sure that this skein of black, the Karen 1 pound, will make it through this last project. And the thing is, I kind of I want to break away from Karen. I want to try a different brand of black in their mega size. So I've been thinking about going out and getting Lion Brand's Pound of Love and giving that a shot. I do really like Lion Brand yarn, so I do want to try and use them a little more. But Red Heart has definitely upped their game since when I first started buying Red Heart yarn. Where's my orange pattern? I have green pattern, the pillow pattern, but I'm missing orange. Oh, orange is right here. Keep digging in the bag. Orange's pattern. So, yeah, saying we cleaned the crochet couch a bit. I'll have to be getting up, pulling things off the shelves because we're getting a little too crazy. And wanted to tidy up a little. So, Jelly Glob, do you scuba dive or know anything about scuba diving? Also, you are super helpful with when I'm having trouble with my streams. Unfortunately, you also only happen to stop by when I'm having like serious issues, like forgetting to turn on my mic, or totally when I'm running a test stream, just trying out the camera. So I appreciate hanging out and giving me tips. Let me know what's going on and how it's pretty much very fail. Alright, so crocheting along this way here. I'll just be copying, duplicating the row below it. Oh yes, I was saying it's a Sunday. This is going to be a super chill stream. And the reason it's going to be a super chill stream has to do with the scuba diving talk. So, it's also why I'm asking if you know anything about scuba diving. I can give you a little bit of insight as to how my Saturday went. I wonder if my technical problems always drive Jelly Glob away. I really appreciate that you still show up. Even throughout all the technical issues that you point out to me. It is super helpful though. So we're just gonna work in this guy. What I'm a little nervous about though is if I finish him and then people come in to see Space Invaders and then I'm just working on the boring black part of it. But then I might also run out of black yarn, so that's a huge, that's a concern too. So I need to consider another project to do in case I run out of black yarn. So, I do know what project I want to work on next. It's a whip. So I kind of want to finish some of my whips up. And I totally forgot to hide and carry the black. My brain. I'm gonna blame the scuba diving. Because I can barely, well, I'm moving a lot better now. I think the ibuprofen has kicked in. But it was a rough Saturday. And I'm not quite sure what made it so terribly rough, but it was rough. It's no doubt about that. I was going on about a different topic before. Oh, the black yarn. Oh, and the project, my whips. So the whip I want to take care of is a Christmas present I started for my mother last year. Didn't finish it. It's made from a Joann's Rainbow Blue clay, which is very difficult to work with. The pattern I was following called for, I think, half doubles or double crochet stitches, and with the yarn I chose, that just wasn't going to happen. I couldn't count the stitches. So, I mean, Jingles kind of keeps joking. He's like, tear it up, start it all over again. I'm like, do you know how much time I put into this? Plus, it would ruin the yarn a bit, so I'm gonna still have to improvise. But I'm gonna have to pull some of it out anyway. It looks like it's a very gorgeous piece of fabric that it turned out. However, it's not going to work for a cowl that I want to make, so that's gonna have to rip out and start all over again. But I do want to finish it. I had a pillow idea for her for last year or for her birthday was the pillow. The cowl would have been for Christmas, but none of it ever got finished. So really, she got no gifts from me last year, and I feel like a terrible, terrible daughter, as I probably should. I'm like, oh, I have this thing that's in the works. Sorry. But I'll have to make up for that somehow. So I need to find some very good cotton yarn, some soft stuff. Hello there. Thank you for that, host. Actually, I need to find my phone and go ahead and get Moobot up on my phone. Oh yeah, I was gonna charge that. Yeah, not. This is why we haven't streamed in a bit. I just don't have my stuff together to fully be like self-reliant in streaming. Okay, so we have the 2 rows of the orange after the eyes. So in this case, I'm going to go four stitches in with the black. So we'll go up to where it currently is. And then 4 more black. So yeah, I need to get the little mini computer over here, his detachable phablet thing. Well, it's not a phone, so it's not a phablet, but it's a laptop slash tablet, so it's a lablet. I don't know if they've come up with kitschy names for that yet. It's a Microsoft something because it comes up with Edge all the time. I don't think it's a Chromebook because it gives me the Microsoft Edge option. And Chromebook would probably only just give me Chrome. Alright, so we've come to the edge of the orange. And now we're going to count. We're actually going to bring the orange up here and start incorporating that in because it looks weird. 1, the black, 2, 3, and 4. And then the last one we'll push through the orange. We'll do 2 oranges. And this is the beginning of the legs. So 1 and 2 is coming up here. And then how many black in between? 4 more black in between. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we'll switch back to the orange for 2. 1 and 2. And then we'll drop the orange and continue with black to the end. This is the first section of the legs there. So yeah, the little tablet is actually pretty helpful. I need to go ahead and change settings on it so it functions the way I need it to. I might just create a new profile on it for myself. I should probably ask Jingles if that's alright, taking up a little bit of his space on there. But that way I can change the sleep settings, so if someone posts a link or something, I can click on it and actually be able to see it instead of the Twitch chat just going dark and then having to reload and then acting like it never got the link, which is really, really obnoxious. My phone does that too. It like goes to sleep after a few seconds. If you're not constantly interacting with the Twitch chat, it just stops showing you what's being said. And that's at the management, the stream management level. If I'm actually watching somebody else's channel, it'll keep scrolling. But not if I'm trying to manage my own channel. It seems a bit unfair. Hey, I'm trying to manage it. Oh, I'll just go to sleep. What? No, don't go to sleep. I'm using it trying to manage this. I need to see what's happening. It's just um, not very user friendly in that sense. Well, hello there. Thank you for the host. It is much appreciated, and welcome to the Crochet Couch. Alright, so this next row is going to be just the same as the last one. I like it when it's just the same as the last one because I don't have to count. I just have to make sure the stitches line up. So I really want to talk about my scuba diving experience, but I kind of want to wait till someone's here to talk about it and maybe interested in it. I don't want to just talk to myself about it because then it gets weird. I go into just weird, like, tangents and stuff. Alright. But yeah, we're gonna finish up the orange guy, work on the back of it, and I may have to improv with the orange dude here and the two panels, the front panel and the back panel, for the color work, or for putting it onto the cushion. I may just have to use a little more orange than the other ones did, use their color. So we'll see how that turns out. It could look fine. Might look a little extra colorful. Do I want to run out and get yarn today? No, not really. Not really. And like what makes me nervous is that if I really want to use Lion Brand yarn, I'd probably have to go to Walmart. One, it's the Christmas season. The stores are going to be crazy busy anyway. Two, it's Walmart. I don't really want to shop at Walmart. I've almost successfully not shopped at Walmart in California the entire time I've been here. The only time I did is when I was out in the middle of the desert, and it's the only place that I knew 100% sure I could get what I needed. I'm pretty sure it was actually yarn at that point too. I needed a certain color of yarn for a project. I'm like, well, I don't know if these other places sell it, but I know Walmart sells yarn, so I went and got it. And in the middle of the desert, just so you know, there's not many options. You drive down one road that has stores, otherwise you are, like, fated to get lost. So I didn't really have the time to go off on a crazy adventure like that either. I needed to be back to work the next day. A job that doesn't value people. But whatever. They value their profit margins. Yeah, so I'm not going to talk about scuba diving yet. Okay, but yeah, where were we? Oh, the Chromebook thing. So I might actually take a bit of a break and go get permission to make my own account on the Chromebook. And then unfortunately, you'll probably sit here for a few seconds watching me set up the user. So that might be definitely not crochet couch stuff, but part of it. Part of getting this whole couch thing to work. Getting it, actually detached from the computer a bit, which is great. So I've been also playing with the idea of having guests, which was really my main motivation for having the crochet couch. Multiple people can sit here. I don't always have to be in the middle. I have a friend who knits, and she made the offhand comment about joining me on Twitch when I told her I knit. She's like, yeah, we could totally do that, and I can be a guest on your show. I was like, oh yeah, that could work. And then I looked at my streaming area. I'm like, no, can't have anybody over. On one of my streams, I actually took a screenshot of myself, and I was just kind of like, we need to clean. Because all you see piled up behind me is our camping gear and our other gear. And thank you so much for that, host. Just the boxes that we had, and well, there's still a few boxes around, but they're mostly hidden. They actually got up in the rafters. Was it fire? Ah, yes, the fire-breathing rubber ducky. I really hope you show up in channel someday. Thank you for the host. Like, I will give you probably like 50 entries, free entries in a, well, maybe not 50 free entries. I'll give you like extra points or something for actually showing up in channel. Mostly because you have a kick-ass name. I also considered turning my stream into a PG stream. and that means I would have to curb my swearing. I should have like a swear jar around here somewhere, so so I don't swear on stream. And you guys would. Oops, I had already. Nope, this one is an extra row. I actually need to count this, and I need to pull back out 2 black. All right. So this actually needs to be an orange one. Alright, so this one is the orange to be pulled through. The black gets hidden in there. We got 2 oranges. 1 and 2, and then we're going to go back to black for 2. 1, and I do want to hide this still, and 2. No, that's only 1. Try this again. 1, 2, and then orange for 4. I don't really understand this. It like gives the guy a little structure. I think it looks a little strange, but we're just going to follow the pattern here. It looks exactly the same as the coaster. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I mean, maybe it's just his legs don't get, broken apart or whatever because he's scuttling around. And then the orange for 2. 1. Oh, wait a second. Thank you very much for that, host. My next 2 should actually, these shall be on the diagonal. Oh, so we're on black now. I switched from black. Yes, 1, 2, black. And then we switch to the orange for 2. 1 and 2 orange. And black, and we drop the orange, and it's black to the end. I know there's a lot of other people streaming. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's a great time to stream. I'm probably only going to be live for about 2 hours, so about 4:15, 4:30 is when I'm going to call it. And we'll see if Heaven's Last is still streaming, because I really want to see his stream. He's doing a beard shaving today, as well as a head shaving. He's going to be donating his hair. So I feel like we're probably missing that right now. So if you guys are over hanging out at Heaven's Last channel, I have no problem with that. And thank you very much for that, host. Okay, time to untangle some of this. As I've mentioned before, every color change gets this 1 more level of twisted. So, gotta keep continuously untwisting it. And as we continue to play yarn chicken with the black. I feel like I should be able to finish this panel and get sort of started on that last black panel, but it's gonna be a toss-up. But I think it'd be pretty neat to be like, yes, I used an entire skein of, 1 pound black to make this. I mean, that's a good, I finished off another one, and I did do a tiny bit of the paw prints, meandering prints scarf, maybe like a foot of it in this, using this. But I mean, it would average out, I think, to be 1 skein plus whatever I'd have to use in addition to tonight's stuff. For the for this whole project. I'm terrible at counting yardage. I'm really not quite sure how to do it. 1, 2. Okay, so I'm following this. And now orange for 4. Yes, as I mentioned before, following the pattern that's being made is more important than following the pattern written on the paper. You want all your pixels to line up. If they don't line up, it looks really weird and you won't be able to tell what it is. And with something like the little green guy, Gary with the Santa hat, you won't be able to, you just won't be able to see what's going on because his are only 1 pixel differences. This guy is 1 to 4 ratio. Alright, so I'm going to drop the orange there. And we'll go ahead and untangle this. Many twists, many twists, many twists. The lighting is a little better today. I just wanted to point out that it is... Oh, did I untwist it the wrong way? I may have. I may have been just twisting it more rather than less. Alright. So yeah, lighting is better because, well, it's the daytime and there's actually sunlight coming through this little window here. So as the sunlight is coming through, hooray, you get to see more color. Actually, it's getting brighter as I'm speaking. But as it gets darker, as the sun is going down right now, you'll notice that I get bluer and bluer. I apologize for that. Finding new lighting is going to be a priority after the new year. We also might change locations, which has frustrated me. We have a roommate moving out, and we were talking about using this space as storage for everybody and then moving all of our stuff into the other room, which we just got this set up. Like, I've been streaming for what, a week and a half, 2 weeks, in a very comfortable, good looking setup, and now we're talking about moving it all, and I just don't want to. It's so much effort. But that won't be. I mean, the roommate's still here, so it'll be a bit. But yeah, it's disappointing. Okay, our next round here, I'll start orange 2 more out from where this one is, so I'll have to move that over and be cautious of where I am. Alright, so orange will be 2 before the current orange. And guys, this is our last row of color. This is the last color of the last Space Invader. I might do another set to put up on Etsy. So that is an option. Alright, and this one's where we need our orange. I'll have to try and hide the orange too after this round. So we got 2 orange here, 1 and 2. And then we get 2 black. 2 black? Yeah, this one has 2 black. And 1, oops, 1 and 2. And then 2 more orange. 1 and 1 and 2. And we switch to black for 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And we switch to orange for 2. 1 and 2. And black for 2. 1 and 2. 1. Sorry, I'm counting faster than I'm actually making the stitches. Orange for 2. 1, 2, and then black all the way to the end. It's a lot of color switches in that row there. It's going to be pretty tangly. Oh, I didn't put on Christmas music either. No music, just dead space. Well, once we finish up the color with this guy, we'll go ahead and try and put some music on. Get a little mood going. So, I'm untangling this guy as we go, since that row was super tangly. grab it later. Right. Yeah, super short stream. Hello there. Thank you for the host and welcome everybody to the Crochet Couch. Okay, now we'll do a little switcheroo. We got some orange going on here. One, we'll pick that up. And two. We'll switch to black for two. One, two. Switch to orange. One, two. And then black for four. One and two. And three. As if I don't drop the yarn off the hook. Three and four. And then back to the orange for two. Oh, more yarn. Two. Okay, I think what I will do next is, after I finish this, would be to work on the blanket. Cool blanket that actually, if you did hashtag, or not hashtag, if you did exclamation point pattern, you'll get the pattern for the blanket showing up in the chat. Okay, so we're dropping the orange here, and we can actually cut the orange off. Hello, Mr. Jingles. Just talking to myself for now. It'll be a short 2-hour stream today. No one with me, not as far as I know. There could be lurkers, people hanging out, but just spying on me, listening without saying anything. That's possible too. Oh, I did want to ask you, can I make a user on your little Chromebook? I know it's not a Chromebook. You told me what it is. I still don't remember what it is. Your Okay. Then I can change the settings and not screw up your stuff. Yeah, because I want to turn off the sleep settings because it keeps going black while I'm crocheting. And then I lose the chat log and I can't click on links if people show me stuff. So Hmm? Oh, interesting. I mean, I still have to change the sleep settings. It does go to sleep. That is an option. I tried turning off sleep settings. Didn't. Okay. Alright. But do you mind me creating a new user? And that way I can save, like, log into my Chrome and. That's good. Oh, I'll eat while I'm here. Yes, please. But yeah, I just finished the, all the colored bits for my Space Invaders. This is the last guy. Well, hello there, and thank you for the host. Guys, that was just a quick, one-sided chat, obviously, with Mr. Jingles. Although, not Mr., just Jingles. Um, so I did get permission to go ahead and set up that little book with my own stuff to use my favorites and whatnot. And he did make the suggestion if I actually plug it in versus not use it as just a standalone thing. Although I have more cords than I'd like already around, along cords plus yarn and all that, I'd probably just want to turn off the sleep settings and when I'm done, turn them back on again or shut the device and then it'll hopefully go to sleep. So, alright, and how many more rows am I gonna do on him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 more black rows. But also I'm going to be sitting here paying attention to, when I get closer to 12, how many rows do I actually need to match it up on the cushion? So, 12 rows will be pretty good, but I'll still need, I will need some more black. And yeah, everything else got like a border, if you remember, a border around it to even it out. So now we're just on to plain black. And then when I'm done with this and start the next panel, although I hope people show up to channel because that's pretty fun, a bit more fun. Can actually show you some new yarn I got. New yarn is amazing. Ooh, and I can do an unboxing. I won a giveaway and I got some spinning fiber that I have not yet opened. I mean, I know exactly what it is. I just don't know what color it is. So I can probably add it to the little spinning sampler box because it feels like it's a small little puff. So that that would be really neat to add another color to it. Yeah, so we're either going to do 12 rows or until I run out of the Karen 1 pound. And I think if I run out, I might just have to run to the store. I don't, I mean, then I really don't want to go to the store because during this Christmas rush, the place, because I would go to Michael's, and Michael's and Walmart are in the same parking lot, but it's insane. It's so insane. So I'd really rather not do it. I'd almost rather just order online. Hope that I still have to wait for it to get here because online stuff is. I do want to try Lion Brand's Pound of Love. I could probably get away with just doing the back panel in a different yarn, Pound of Love. I'll also have to compare prices. Now, Red Heart has her Super Saver, but Karen and Lion are much softer. Much softer. And I do want to up myself to a softer type of yarn as a general purpose yarn. I think had I not started this with Red Heart, I would have gone with Vanna's Choice colors. So I did. My pink actually is the one I had to go out and buy. I did not own any hot pink. It's not my. Let me put this on. I do have hot pink. I got it as a random grab bag thing. However, the texture is much different. Thank you very much for that, host. It is greatly appreciated. Hubai, welcome to the crochet couch. Oh yes, the other hot pink yarn I have is a very fuzzy and fluffy and doesn't. It's a totally different texture. It would not go well. So this is row 3 we've just started of the 12, and then I can bind off and start something different. I don't want to run out of the black yarn today. I mean, I might with these, like I said, these 12 rows. I really have no idea. But if I don't, then I'll cast off and start up with the blanket. And then I can change the title to the stream. Go ahead and be making the As You Go Stripey Blanket, which is the name of that. So we're just going along here. A dose of dandy! Welcome very much. It's going pretty well, making progress on this. Um, I'm quite sore, like all my muscles are sore. So, as I crochet with my right hand, my whole right side of my back has been really sore lately. Um, do you scuba dive? Or have you ever been? Do you know anyone? I totally want to talk about scuba diving. That's what it says, and scuba. Let's talk scuba dive. Never been? So, it took about 5 different people to talk me in to getting my scuba certification. And my biggest fear was like, oh my god, the ocean is huge. You go down too deep, you get pressurized and it's a problem and all that stuff, right? So, about 3 years ago, yeah, about 3 years ago, um, I finally was convinced by the guy who wasn't quite my boyfriend yet. We were mostly acting like a boyfriend girlfriend couple. Finally convinced me to go to this scuba party and just talk to people. It was a brand new store that was open. Like they'd opened a physical store, but the guy had been scuba diving for years and years. And I was talking to some of the people who were instructors there, and they're like, "Oh, so you're gonna go do your certification? How do you feel?" I'm like, "Well, honestly, I'm a bit nervous. Like I'm a little scared. I'm excited, but I'm scared." And that actually excited her. She's like, "Good. That's what I like to hear." Because it means you're smart. It means that you understand the risk of what you're about to do. Some people are just like, yeah, let's jump in the water, let's do this, blah, blah, blah. So, what I remember most about my first scuba diving weekend is how heavy all the equipment is. And we went again this weekend, and I mean, we've been doing multiple trainings for weeks and weeks, but I feel just about as sore now, not quite, but just about as sore as I was that very first weekend I did scuba diving. So my maybe it was the way I lifted my gear up on my back, maybe it was just, tension that had been building up over the last couple days or whatever. But as we were going into the water for our third and last dive, I told Jingles, I was like, my shoulder really hurts. I'm glad this is the last dive. I don't know what I did, but I'm I actually hurt pretty bad. And we got done with the dive and I got out and my whole right side of my body was just super tense and woke up this morning and I'd taken a muscle relaxant last night and I was like, it just hurts so bad. And I woke up this morning and I'm like, my fingers don't work properly. Because they weren't working yesterday either, but I attributed that more to cold than to like the muscle aches. But at least now that I'm up and I've been moving, I can maintain the hook because I don't think yesterday I would have been able to hold the hook properly. Like by the time I went to bed, I could barely like uh hold stuff. Like I couldn't do buttons. It just everything would hurt so bad. And even this morning, like the muscles in my back were so sore, I picked up 2 plates to go bring them to do the dishes after breakfast. And I picked them up and I took like 2 steps and I'm like, Jingles, I need you to take the plates from me. I can't hold the I can't hold the plates in one hand. I would need both hands, but I had like a coffee in the other hand. I was like, I didn't realize I was hurting that bad. Do you get back pain? Or just the idea of back pain scares you? Also, some of the plates we have here are like just ridiculously heavy. Like I hate doing the dishes with them when I'm not hurting because they're just so heavy. It's like, oh my god, why do we have such heavy plates? Oh god, yeah. And we have a hodgepodge of plates. Nothing matches. It's just we've had roommates in and out. I think this house has probably seen like 15 different people since they started the lease here. All right. Well, thank you, Dahul 4D. Thank you for that host. I know I'm reading these totally wrong. I need to add a different background to the notification. Now, even though scuba diving is painful and a little scary, it's very, very cool. and it can be cold, but it's very neat. You know, being able to maintain yourself underwater and see some really cool things. And on the very first dive, we went and found a boat that had been overturned, and you've hurt your back and it's bothersome. Yeah, how debilitating. Yeah, so yesterday we also decided to do something dumb and go up the stairs with our dive gear. And being wet and all that, you know, stairs to the parking garage. And we lifted it into the trunk of the car. He's like, that wasn't so bad, was it? And I'm like, not so bad for someone whose back isn't spasming on them. I'm like, that was a really bad idea for me. So after the ferry ride, because we would go out to an island and you take the ferry back. And after the ferry ride, I had felt a little better after, you know, warming up and, you know, muscles relaxing and all that. Then I decided to go ahead and push it again and lift. So by the time I got home, I was just like, oh, I hurt. So much complaining on my end. And so now here's the kicker to it. We had a day of diving. We did 3 dives out on the island. And tomorrow, we're trying to get some training finished. So let me back up and like why we're, you know, kind of like cramming these dives in. We're trying to get some training finished. We are going for our master scuba diver certification. And so there was this option this weekend to get some underwater navigator classes completed, make some progress on our deep diving certification, and Monday and Tuesday, a night diving class was offered by one of the other instructors. So instead of going to the island, we're going to be going down to Redondo Beach and do night diving there. And this is a great time of year to go night diving because the squid will be mating. First of all, I don't even know if I've managed to actually see a squid in Southern California. I saw some squid when we were in Cozumel, but I haven't seen squid in Southern California. And the squid out here, the nightlife down there, not just squid, but everything else that comes out at night, is very, very active in Redondo Beach area. So I've seen a bunch of little lobsters. Like that was really cool because the lobsters here don't have claws. They're just imagine that they look like lobsters with no claws. They have fins. They're almost like they have front legs, but they don't have claws. So they have very long, spindly front legs, and they move so fast underwater. Like that's why they taste so good because they have these super powerful muscles. And that's what you eat is you eat the muscles of the lobster. I don't think I've had California. I think the rock lobsters is what they're called. I don't think I've had rock lobster. But you can go hunting for them, and I believe it is currently hunting season. But this particular dive, no one's going to be hunting. It's a training dive only. Learn how to dive at night. Learn how to, what to expect. How to find people if you get separated. You do need extra lights. You do need lights on your tank so people can see you and not run into you. So So we're going to be going Monday and Tuesday. Now, it's going to be really dark out and really chilly. But we get to go diving at night and see the night creatures. Thank you very much for that, host. It's greatly appreciated. J something 212. K12. Thank you for the host. So I hope I didn't bore the crap out of you, Dandy, with just like all this diving talk, if you've never been. But I think the takeaway I have is that 1, diving makes me sore. 2, before I do a deep dive, after not diving for months, I need to like practice, because I sort of. Okay, good. I'm glad it's not boring. Now here's the part where I'm talking. I'm going to start about my limitations with diving. Everybody has their limits. That first deep dive we did, I we were supposed to go to 110 feet, which we eventually made it to 110 feet, and that's deep. That's actually the pushing the limits of what they recommend for a recreational diver. I believe that the maximum recommended depth is like 130 for recreational. I have to look that up again. However, when we got to 73 feet, We had a chain, like there was a buoy up top on the surface that's bobbing along the water, and it's connected to the bottom of the ocean by a chain. And so we're descending along the chain, so you can see approximately how fast you're going. You know, if you need to stop for some reason or another. Because when you're diving, you can go down as fast as you want. It You can clear your ears because your ears are the most sensitive part to diving. So you stop, you know, you slow down, you go pinch your nose, you blow against it, and you pop your ears. Pop your ears. You're not really popping them, but it is basically to prevent them. You're equalizing pressure because what's happening is as you're going down, your ears start doing this, your eardrums, and so you need to blow air back against them to push them back out so they don't rupture. Anyway, so we're going down this chain and slowing down if we need to, but at 73 feet, my mask had started leaking a little, which happens. You know, it's not, you want it to be completely, you know, watertight, but it doesn't always happen. And so and you learn how to do, it's called clearing your mask. You inhale, and you blow out through your nose, and you push the water out. You lift the bottom of your mask, and you push the water out with your air, with your nose. So you have to be able to breathe out of your nose. And so you go, and you breathe out the water or you breathe out air and push out the water. So I was trying to equalize. I wasn't working quite right. And then it just felt like I could feel the ocean. I could feel the pressure of the ocean against me. Like I knew I could feel the depth, which it doesn't usually happen. You don't usually feel that. But then, like, it started making me freak out a little. I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing down here? It's so deep. What's happening? What's going on? And, like, it was like I had the animal side of my brain and the logic side of my brain just split and started having a fight. So I started panicking a little, which is a really bad thing to happen underwater. And you have a buddy all the time for that reason. You have a buddy. And and so he asked me, yeah, and there's underwater signals, says, "Are you okay?" And the usual answer is, "Yes, I'm okay." So, okay, okay. Are you okay? And I said, "I'm not okay." And I pointed at my mask. But I was also trying to point at my head. Like, and in my head, I'm not right. Like, mask, mask. But to from his point of view, it just looked like I had a little bit of water in my mask. You know, your mask is like big like this. It covers your nose and face. And it looked like I just had a tiny bit of water in here. So that's no big deal, right? And he's like, okay. He's like, I see your problem. And he continued going down. That's fine. But I didn't know a signal to tell him I'm freaking out. After we got to the surface, however, you know, we kind of discussed what was going on, talked with the instructor. He's like, if you have something going on, you need to let us know. And I'm like, how? How do you let someone know? Because there's not a signal for everything. You know, there's a book on how to learn. They tell you some hand signals, but not every possible situation. You know, like a very important one that I'm very surprised the book doesn't have in there is cramps. You get leg cramps very often down there. And so locally we have a signal for cramps. It's this. You open and close your fist. It's like, oh my god, my muscles are spasming. But I didn't have one for telling them, like, I'm freaking out in my head. And so the signal he's like, go like this, you know, open face or open hand across your face, just like my head, there's something in my head that's not, I'm not okay, my head. And I was like, okay, that's a good one. And I told Jingles, I'm like, would you have understood that if I did that underwater? He's like, probably not. I'm like, what if I did, I'm not okay, I'm crazy? He's like, that I would have gotten. Like, I'm going crazy inside my head. And I told him it was the same feeling I had when we went on a trip to Mexico. I had too much weight. Um, and when you're diving, you need weights to help you sink down to the bottom. But then you also have your vest that you fill up with air. You blow it up, and so the air you blow it up with is the same air you're breathing. So you want to be careful. Yeah, right. The crazy signal. Um, but again, I'm almost mid panic. I have a logic side and an animal side of my brain fighting, and I was just trying to keep from losing it. Because, like I said, it's a really bad thing to happen underwater. You can, because when people usually lose their shit underwater, first thing they want to do is go to the surface. They just want to get up and get out of there. And that's bad to run for the surface or just kick, 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 kick. Because that's how you get yourself, people call it the bends. Um, the safe rate of ascension is 1 foot per second. We were 70 feet down, which means it would have taken me over a minute to safely get to the top. That would have, and if someone's like freaking out, a minute's a really long time. So I was sitting there arguing with myself, panting basically, just inhaling a lot, and I'm trying to tell myself to calm down because the deeper you go, air gets compressed. So each breath is actually taking a bigger chunk out of your possible air supply. So the deeper you are and the faster you're breathing, the lower your gauge goes. The faster it just. So we did not. I was able to calm myself down, do our little test underwater, which was really kind of a fun little test. He had us do what he called a timed dexterity test. He had a bolt with 2 washers on it, and this is the one I had to do. I had a bolt with 2 washers on it. Bolt, nut, washer, washer, nut, 1 washer, nut. And my job was to take the one off, take the washer off, take the second nut off, take the 2 washers off, and now I had to put 1 washer, 1 bolt, 2 washers, put the other bolt on the end. It's just a dexterity test to see how you do underwater. And I was noticing that when I was doing that test, I wasn't freaking out. So that was a good thing. But yeah, I think we decided that if I have a problem underwater again, because it wasn't the first time I had a problem, that we will be using the crazy signal. That will be the signal for I'm freaking out. But yeah, I did let him know that the distraction of working on the bolt actually was very calming, because I noticed that I wasn't freaking out while I was doing it because my brain was concentrating on something else. And it's like I wasn't particularly holding my breath, because that's the other thing. You are not supposed to hold your breath underwater. If you're holding your breath and you're coming up, you can actually overexpand your lungs and cause expansion injuries. So when you're ascending, you have to breathe normally and maybe possibly even exhale a little more. But you're not supposed to hold your breath underwater. And I didn't particularly think I was holding my breath. But like when you're on land, you're not paying attention to it. Like how you're breathing. Because like you'll breathe, you'll pause, you'll exhale, you'll pause, you'll breathe in. Well, when you're freaking out underwater, you don't have that pause. Or when people are freaking out having panic attacks on land either. There's no pause there. Yay, thank you. Lunchtime. Just one. Hmm? Mm. Okay, so let's see. How many rows do I got here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm working on row 8. I need 12 rows before I'm done with this front panel. But we have the orange guy all done. Oops. Beep. The orange guy's all done. So we're done with this set. I'll actually be a little sad to stop the Space Invaders project, because the rest of the projects seem a little less interesting. Alright, so I hope you really don't mind, Andy, if I take a couple bites while I'm working on this, because I am quite hungry. So what are you up to today? I've actually gotten in the habit of using the OK. Oh, trimming trees, nice. I've had to force myself to get in the habit of using the OK signal more often because thumbs up underwater means we need to go back to the surface. I need to make sure I don't get confused. Ooh, Star Wars! Alright, without being spoiler, what did you think of Star Wars? Did I haven't seen it. One word. Prequel-esque, like you think it's setting up for another set of movies? Oh, that's not good. That's still disappointing. I mean, most of what I've read online so far has sounded very positive. I mean, this sounds like a semi-negative review. Okay, well. Yeah, it sucks when you go to a movie and you're like the only one who doesn't like it or just kind of like meh about it. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, that was amazing," and you're like, Not really." That's a strange. It's always an uncomfortable spot to be in. Give it some time. All right. I know right before it came out, I had read an article that had a bunch of words. What was like predictions? Had a bunch of predictions of what that was going to happen in the movie. And Jingles isn't too much of a fan of going to see the movies that have a lot of hype about them because they have a lot of hype about them. So he's not really. He's like, yeah, we'll see Star Wars, yeah, maybe in the theaters. And there's other movies he's like, I don't want to see that one in the theaters. Like we still haven't seen Guardians 2 yet, and apparently it's on Netflix now. It's like we need to watch that before it gets off of Netflix. We didn't get to see it in the theater, mostly because we were really busy at that point. But Guardians was a while. You're not a great judge of movies. Hmm. Why do you say that? Marvel movies are difficult for you to sit through. Okay, I cannot be sitting forward and crocheting. I usually sit forward and crochet, but that might actually be my problem. Is that I'm like hunched over my work looking at it. So I may have had the back soreness issues before diving, and diving just like exacerbated them. I could have actually given them to myself by the leaning forward bit and leaning forward and working on crochet. That's bad. There are some Marvel movies I really do like out of their whole series, and some that just feel like, hi, here's some backstory to get you to the next movie. Like it doesn't actually feel like it's a movie in its own right. It's just setting you up for the next one. Yeah, crochet injuries. Well, the other crochet injury I got was I went to go grab my pattern of the Santa hat off the printer, and I missed because it's actually quite a mess back there since we rearranged this area. I missed and like hit my finger on the side of the table that it's sitting on, and I broke my nail. Freaking broke a nail, right? You think, oh, broke a nail. Well, then I took the nearest nail file I had, which was it's a nail file for fingernails, but it's really, really like large grit for a nail file. And you may have been channel when I did this because I had filed it down really quickly because I wanted to get back and keep crocheting, and a broken nail would get snagged on the yarn and stuff. Well, I filed it too far, and it's still very tender. So yeah, crochet injuries. Woo. Like you've got to be a certain kind of special, right? To get crochet injuries. Yeah, actually, we had a coworker who went to the ER on the ER, the urgent care. And I work at an office where there's people who edit subtitles. Oh, they edit the English on the subtitles. And so apparently with the way he types, he actually like pulled a muscle or something in his arm. He thought it was like some bug that had bit him while he went hiking. But when he went to the urgent care, they told him that no, this is like a repetitive motion injury type thing, but because he types so furiously apparently that it just he not ruptured a muscle, that sounds much more severe, but he strained something and just his arm just swelled up. And or no, he got some sort of infection somehow. It swelled up and he got an infection that just kept it going. And they don't know how that part happened. But yeah, because it actually got infected. It's really strange. Like your arm? Your arm. Yeah, they understand the muscle strain, but they couldn't quite tell him how it got infected with like some form of sepsis. Like the sepsis doesn't usually happen in your arm muscles. That happens in other places. So that was just a mystery. Alright, I believe I'm starting row 10 right now. But I'm gonna have another bite of my sandwich before it gets cold. That's insane. Like, did you feel it when you woke up, or you didn't, or did you feel it when you did it? Mm. Hi. Total noob didn't even turn on the headset. Total noob. Uh, so next thing on my to-do list is to make a to-do list of things I need to do before I go live on Twitch. Thank you, Jelly Glob. I have no idea where that sound is coming from. It is very much appreciated. That's the beginning of my stream after I turned on audio. What was the beginning? We're almost done with the Space Invaders. We started on orange one last time. I don't know what it's. So here's how far we are on orange guy. Doot. Oh. Alright, so I had a second window of my own stream open, and it just decided to start playing now. So that's weird. You'd think I would have heard that when I actually turned on my mic. I had been talking for probably about 5 minutes before Jelly Glob came in here and said something. Um, that was a little embarrassing. And it's also really, really creepy that it just started talking. Thank you for the host. How long was it before you figured out that you tore a muscle? Instead of just being like, oh man, what did I do last night? I'm gonna double check some of the other settings. And I suppose I could turn on some music. Northern 111, thank you for the host. I've decided to put on the crackling fire again. Let me know if it's too loud. Alright. Since I'm taking a little bit of a break, I'm also going to grab the mini Chromebook thing, which I got permission to create a second user on. If I can find it. Maybe I won't grab the little mini Chromebook. I can't find it. Alright, never mind. That'll be for a different day. So after I finish up with the orange... Oh no. Hook, save the hook. After I finish up with the orange guy's square, we're gonna move on to the blanket. Because, thank you for the volume check there. We'll move on to the blanket because I don't think I have enough to finish enough black. We're running really low on the black here. Yeah, I won't be able to make a full black square for the back. And I don't think, out of all the colors, I don't think I have any more, like, plain black. Because I got a Karen 1 pound for the black. And I just never, I figured that's all I needed. I didn't really need any more. I thought I'd never finish it off. Well, I'm almost done with my second pound. Oh hey, you said you were getting crochet hooks, right? Did you ever get them? Did you start a project? How's that going? Oh, sweet. So what project did you decide you're going to start? Oh, and what yarn did you get? Pokeball! Thank you very much for that, host. Alright. Smithy 20418. Host is much appreciated. Okay, let's see. A bunch of red heart. Alright. Was it just like the red heart super saver? Or did you get some of their other kinds? Because I was saying earlier, they've stepped up their game. Oh man. Alright, so here's the Joanne's thing for Thursday through Sunday, December 14th through 24th. That's their quote colors up close to make a Gryffindor characters. Oh, super cute! Alright, thank you very much for that, host. So do you go to Walmart or Joann's? Oh, Michael's. Yeah. So Michael's doesn't send me a flyer anymore, but they do send me email coupons. So I would suggest, if you're gonna keep shopping at Michael's, like if that's like your go-to yarn place, to go ahead and sign up for their email coupon thing, because you can look up the coupons on your phone and they will scan it from your phone. Thank you for that, host. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up. So Buddy 925, thank you for the host. And then Joann's, I think, has a mailing list, but also like, so you get on the mailing list for this, but then there's also an email mailing list with different coupons. So like you can just make out like a bandit at Joann's. Like this one, I just opened it up and I'm like, oh, okay, here's the sales for this week. Karen 1 pound yarn, the stuff I'm using, and it's just saying that I need. It's $5.99 on sale. It's usually $10. This is 40% off, and I don't need a coupon for it. So I'll probably go back to Karen 1 pound, even though I still do want to try out the Lion brand Pound of Love. This coupon booklet is out of date. I should probably just throw it away. But this is the one that's active. So I get 40% off any one regular priced item. Or like, this is an amazing one. 50% off 54-inch home decor fabric. Okay, so that's a 50% off coupon for fabrics. Okay, dollar off, you know, X dollars off of your purchase of $30 or more, $50 or more. 50% off one regular priced item for 4, and there's 4 different versions of that coupon. But yeah, no, Michael's has good deals also. I look up where I'm going, and I'm more likely to go to Michael's than Joann's, because the Joann's, the nearest one, has a terrible parking lot, and I already got in an accident there. It has like weird diagonal parking in their parking lot, and me and this other lady just backed up at the right time, just like smashed our hands together. So I'm really nervous going back there to shop, but they have such good deals. I kind of have to get over it. Just go park maybe on the street instead of in the parking lot. And there's a bunch of other businesses in there. It's kind of like a strip mall. Alright, I think we're on like row 10 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're starting row 10. Alright. Rachel is properly fed. You were worried about parking lots? Like, with the same thing? With the diagonal parking? Or what kind of weird? There's nobody parked beside me. Yeah, no, some people really just don't. I would rather park a little further away and walk farther than, like, circle the parking lot twice to find a really good spot. Like, do you know how much time we're wasting by circling? It drives me nuts. I'd rather just park at the back of the lot, where I know where my car is, and just, like, walk more to the store. I feel like you just waste so much time by looking for a good spot. I don't need to park one car closer. There's so much like angst that gets built up when you're circling, and you know, bleh. I just don't like shopping in general, holiday season or not. Holiday season just makes it worse. There's actually another streamer I just started watching. She does a lot of different things. She crochets and she makes resin buttons and just some other stuff. But I was asking her, I was watching her make something. It was super, super tiny. I was like, what yarn are you using for that? And she's like, oh, regular worsted weight. Like most of the yarn, most of your Red Heart yarn, if you look at it, it'll have another number 4 on it. And that's a worsted weight yarn. That's what you'll find in most stores. Sometimes you'll find slightly smaller or bigger. You're more likely to find bigger yarn because that's like in right now. The bulky, super bulky, and jumbo sizes. But she made such tiny things. She's like, yeah, I use the same yarn for everything. I just use different hooks. And I was like, okay, I've done that before too. But just like her stuff is so small, so small. She made like tiny little candy corn and turned them into earrings. Crocheted little candy corn earrings, just super freaking cute. I don't know if I could do that. Like, I don't know how she does it without splitting the yarn. Thank you for the host. Alright, so I'm starting row 11 here. Thunder Chunky, 1989. Is the polyester fiber fill the same thing as polyfill? I believe it is. This is polyfill. Or actually, I think polyfill is a brand name. So this is the brand name, polyfill. And I think yeah, it's just short for polyester fiber fill. And it's just little fluffy stuff. It pretty much always comes in white. I don't know if it even comes in other colors. But I usually just look for the blue bag. What is this one? This one's a 20-ounce bag. Yeah, so I got... it looks like an enormous bag, right? But it's only 20 ounces of weight. But I will let you know, I've had this bag for over 6 years. I don't know, maybe it's just I don't make a lot of stuffed things. Other colors might be a business opportunity. Although I was thinking, because I was making an amigurumi kitty that was black, and I was like, oh shoot, I need to weave in my ends. Went to go weave in my ends after I put the fill in already. Exactly, and you can see the white fill through it, and I was kind of like, dang it. Or it's like when I was weaving in the end thing, it was kind of poking little bits out, so it looked fuzzy, although like in that section. Like, no! So you take the back of the hook and you're trying to shoving it all back in. Like, get back in there! You belong inside. Yeah, that's something you gotta learn by doing amigurumi. Is like, well, maybe I need to go down a hook size so my stitches are tighter, so I can't see the fiber fill through it. Thank you very much for that, host. Thank you so much for that host there. Yeah, it was so... because, like, it looked pretty good until I went and tried to fix it. And I'm like, no, no, no. The stupid ends that got... no, didn't get woven in. Yeah, it can be a little frustrating. I think the pillow turned out okay. I probably could have stuffed it just a tiny bit more. But it's fine. I didn't overstuff it, which sometimes can happen. And then it stretches the stitches, so you see the white fill, and you're like, oh, shoot. Because once you stretch the stitches out, they don't always necessarily go back. So you want to try and avoid the overstuffing to begin with. So have you done projects where you're working in the round before? Because a Pokeball is all in the round. And amigurumi is a lot in the round. So a Pokeball would be the better one to start with. Just for simplicity's sake. Is one shape. Never. Okay. I would highly recommend, either now or when you're ready to start, looking up a YouTube video, and I may have to go to my favorites. I'll just pull up my favorites and I'll show you the link. Because it was like a while between amigurumis, where I learned how to do the magic circle. And the magic circle is extremely important. And it's very useful. Some people say they absolutely hate doing magic circle, and once I realized how it worked, I was like, this is amazing. Or magic ring, magic circle. Alright, I'm gonna see if I have one saved in my favorites, because that would be the one that I used. I do not. It says I only have 3 favorites. That's a little strange. Okay. So we'll go back. So can I search my history? Maybe? Search watch history. Okay. We'll go crochet. Alright. Okay, granny square, perfect palm. I don't think my search history goes back far enough. Oh, crochet magic. There we go. Easy way to crochet a magic circle. Oh, some of these tutorials are just amazing. Alright, so I got 2 links for you here. Copy link address. Magic ring video number 1. Oops, maybe I'll paste it in there. And then magic ring number 2. So those are 2. Batman Cake Muncher. Thank you for that host. Alright, so those are the magic ring videos I watched. Tricky Vicky, thank you for that host. But pretty much anything you read in a pattern or whatever, YouTube is your, like, one of your biggest, like, helps. It's an amazing resource. I can't even... I started working on a heart-shaped square. I know it sounds weird to say a heart-shaped square. It was a granny square, but, like, it was a complex one. It had a heart in the center, and I recognized the name of a lot of stitches, but I didn't know how to do them. So I went to YouTube, looked them up until I found, you know, like, if a video didn't make sense to me, I'm like, okay, I'll go to the next one that showed up in the search list. And I think it only took like 2 videos at most. Thank you very much for that host. It took no more than 2 videos per stitch or technique for me to figure it out. You know, you pause it, you do your thing, you look up, you hit play again, and it's just great. Videos are such a great teaching tool. Oh man, I feel like I should at least start the border for this too. I might have enough yarn for the border. We'll work on the border. I'm not so much worried about the back panel, like what yarn I do that in, because no one's really going to be comparing the different yarns. Technical difficulties. Hi there. What's going on with you today?
Yay!
Thank you so much for that follow. Oh, Dragon! Good to see you! So I was talking earlier about how I'm so close to running out of yarn here, and I'm playing Yarn Chicken with my my project. I need to go out and buy more black because I'm running super low. But I also don't want to go fight holiday traffic for stuff that's not at all holiday related or for any reason. So here's my current and last panel for my Space Invaders. Right here. I haven't decided what to name this guy. Thank you for that, host. So I got Gary the green guy and Yaniv yellow, and I haven't come up with a name for Pink over here yet. Maybe I'll just call her Pink. That might work. It makes for a great background. Like, I found I do use more black than anything. My second most used color is green. Black and green. For just random projects I've done, people who don't know each other have requested stuff. I'm just like, alright, I guess I need to stock up on some green. Because I had a Red Heart Hunter green, which is a really dark. Yeah, and for the amigurumis, you will use a lot less yarn than you think you will. It'll be a little... You'll end up with all these partial skeins for doing amis and like all these off colors. Thank you for that, host. Because like each ami, you need just the right color to get to your point across. But then you use so little of it that you're like, well, now what do I do with this color? See what? I don't think. Yeah, I had like a weird orange-ish yellow I was using for the beak of a penguin. I'm like, well, now what do I do with this? Or no, it wasn't that. It wasn't for a penguin. It was for something else. Because the penguin pattern called for a black beak. Or I may have changed it because I wanted him to have a. I wanted it to have an orangey yellow beak. So Dragon, what are you up to today? Or technical difficulties? Yeah, the carrot one. I think I mentioned before that I had gotten the carrot for a different project, but it just didn't work very well. It was a bad quality carrot yarn. But so I ended up with the Vannas. Let's see what color is this. I think is called terracotta. The Vanna's orange. Work. Yeah. I'm surprised my work hasn't like given me a talking to about my schedule tomorrow, because they have a mandatory meeting, but that's at 11, so that's not too terrible. But we also have a Monday morning managers meeting that I'm supposed to be at, and that's at 10. But I scheduled an eye doctor appointment at 7:30, which I'm making Jingles get up with me and take me, because I don't know what they're going to do. I haven't had an eye appointment, like a proper eye appointment, in 3 years. So, I don't know if they're going to do a dilating thing, which would mean I can't really drive, but then I'm going to go to work right after and still try to work. But then I also put in telling them that I'm leaving early. I'm leaving at 5:30 to do some of the scuba diving stuff I was talking about. We're going out to so we're doing our first night dive at the beach. One to which? You have to make one? Like make a meeting? Or make an eye appointment? It's like now that I'm talking about my eyes, like I'm finding it harder to focus between the stitches and the TV. Maybe I'm just tired. Yesterday was a super long day. we got up at 3:45 a.m. so we could get on the drive down to the ferry, get onto the 6 a.m. ferry, get over to the island, do our diving, get back on the ferry by 6:15, and then drive back home. So like it was like 9 o'clock, and we're sitting there going, we want to go to bed. We've been up since like before 4. Oh, your typing's okay. Going scuba doobing eye. What? Small something loud. Thank you for the host. So I'm doing the eye appointment. I'm going to work. I'm doing like 3 different meetings, and then I'm going scuba diving, leaving work early to go scuba diving. But the way my meetings are laid out at work, it's like I'm just gonna go to work, I'm doing meetings, and then leave to go scuba diving and not get any of my work actually done. That's what it feels like. Yeah, yesterday was a long day. And then tomorrow is gonna be like, hey, it's 7:30 at night. It's like 50 degrees out, and we're gonna jump in the water. It's gonna be cold. Sorry for the sniffling, guys. Yeah, if anything's gonna make me sick this season, it's gonna be this, like, upcoming next couple days. I mean, I got a little rundown because my coworker... actually, I'm gonna keep going around the corner on this one. So I finished my 12 rows. Hooray! And now we're gonna take a look and see what I need for rounding this all out. I'm definitely getting more than 12 rows. That's a given here. Alright, so we'll do another, like, 2... I might need 2 to 4 more rows. We'll start with 2 and see where we're at. Yeah, I'm talking Fahrenheit. I don't remember if you're in Canada or not. But I'm talking 50 degrees Fahrenheit, so if you need to do some conversion, go ahead and do that. But yeah, it's chilly. I mean, yes, I have a wetsuit that keeps you warm. I mean, that's alright. Thank you for that, host. I have a lot of people who are from Canada who watch the stream, so I'm trying to remember who's from where. And I think one of our other guild members, Kira, she's in Korea right now or something, so I don't know where in the world everybody's at. So I'm guessing, a dose of dandy, that you're watching those crochet videos, which would be a fantastic thing to be doing. They're saying snow for us in Oklahoma on Christmas. That's kind of cool, other than the fact that Oklahoma doesn't own snowplows and probably couldn't handle it. Like, how much are they talking about? No, it's not cool? Oh. I like snow on Christmas. That's I grew up in Minnesota. There should be snow on Christmas. When I was like, God, how old was I? I must have been at least 25, and I was working in Wisconsin, and there was no snow, and it was Christmas Eve, and like I was driving home to be with my family, and I found myself very, very sad and almost crying because it was Christmas Eve and there was no snow. So, like, snow is very important for me. Hey, Mofo Silver. Everyone has a truck in Oklahoma, though, and thinks they can drive in the snow. Well, you could make it a certain amount of ways in the snow. Yeah. The thing is, you just can't overestimate how fast you can go. Like, even as a native Minnesotan, I you have to recognize that there are limits, otherwise you're gonna like fly off the side of the road. And welcome to the channel. I don't think I've seen you here before. Milk, bread, and eggs will be gone as soon as one snowflake hits the ground. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny, someone took a picture of the shelves in the store. I think it was in either like New York or oh, fun. Dyed yarn. Yeah, dyed yarn is so fun to do. I've done some of that. I've actually dyed the fiber and then spun the fiber into yarn. As well as dyed the yarn after I've spun it into, dyed it after I've spun it into yarn. Dyeing is so fun. It's a really neat thing to do. I just don't have the like setup here to do it on a large scale. You need like specialty sinks in order to expand and water that sits around a certain temperature. So, well, some people will also get undyed yarn and do it. Like that's a thing, just to make like very neutral colored yarn and sell it in bulk, but in a lot of different fiber contents. Like some wool, some acrylic, some cotton, some wool blends, some. It's yeah, there's a lot of options for indie dyeing. Okay. Finish that row. How many more do I need? I'll do at least one more row. But I'm getting really low on this yarn here. I'll probably just use it until it's gone on this guy. The Casino Geektastic Fibers. Oh, okay. I'll have to look that up. I'll only put that in my notebook. Things to look up. Geektastic Fibers. That is a pencil that's not sharpened. This is like my stream ideas book. Either ideas I get from stream or what I want to change about the stream. Today is the 17th. Geektastic Fibers. Does she also stream, or she dyers kind of offhand, offline, I guess? Did I lose my hook? Not really. Casino I work at, as they will beg just to stay and put us up in a room. Oh, so they know they have staff if it doesn't. Okay. I'd take it. I'd take the room and stay. That's me personally. Yeah. What do you do at the casino? I think you probably told us, but I don't remember. Cool. I'll have to follow the Etsy link. Housekeeping. Okay. I have quite a few friends who are actually housekeepers. At hotels. The one gal... Some of my good friends did it when I was in high school. The one gal I know still does it. She loves it. She's just like, I know exactly when I'm going to be working. And I don't have to... when I leave work, I don't have to worry about anything. And she's been there long enough that she makes enough to live off of, and she's not concerned about it. So I'm guessing you both know the indie dyer? Geektastic Fiber Gal? My phone's in my bag, so I'm not gonna be able to check the link out yet. She is my wife's friend. Okay. Google, it's my friend. There's at least one other person on my stream team who does dyeing, and her Twitch name is Hellchick. So that's pretty often. You click on the KBN link in my info, and then scroll through the people, or just type in Hellchick. It's probably easier. That's really nice of you. Offered help with business cards. Yeah, I'm hiring a friend who's an artist to help me get some emotes. Well, not some stream banners and all that to put down there that are a little more interesting. And I have a lot of announcements I want to make in the new year. So, got a lot of stuff going on with the stream that I want to keep going. I'm really, really excited about it. Alright, so I'm going to finish this row, and then I'm actually going to start on the border, because it should be long enough to cover the rest of this pillow cushion here. Themed, like Wonder Woman colors. Yeah, that's a good way to do it too, themed stuff. I mean, and there's so many indie dyers out there, so I hope she's able to help her stand out. Oh no, I got a little knot in here. Oh. Alright, let's check the measurements on this after this one stitch here. Alright. How are we looking? We're looking like we're good on the corners, so I'm gonna have to start doing the corner tuck thing. I have to go around once. But I only want one over here, but two on everything else. Okay, so I'm gonna do one, and then back, and then back. Alright. Just need to remember what I'm doing there. Actually, I'm gonna put in a stitch marker, because I'm not going to remember what I'm doing, but I need to do this all in one sitting. I have a feeling I might run out of yarn though. So when I get to the stitch marker, I need to stop and go around. Then also move the stitch marker, know when to stop. So I only want one round here. Does she do any crafting too, or just the dyeing? The yarn dyeing? Because usually you start as a crafter and then go into the dyeing. And not many people I know who dye and don't do any sort of craft or spinning. There's a weaver, or a crocheter, or a knitter, or a spinner. Does she spin any fiber? Although one of these streams I'm gonna break out my spinning wheel. Ooh, actually I should do my unboxing. I won a giveaway and I was told I was only getting I was told I was getting spinning fiber. But I have no idea what color, because there was like 12 people chosen for the giveaway. Oh, shark eating blanket. Oh, that's awesome. And mermaid tail. And do they absolutely love them, or are they kind of whatever, or do they really like them? All right, dragon, be safe and all that. You know, make sure you take care of yourself and the storm that's heading your way, and don't work too hard. Hard enough, but not too hard. How old are the kids? I'm kind of thinking of doing something like that for my nieces, but I'm not a fan of the gender stereotype things where, okay, the girls have to have a mermaid and the boys have to have a shark eating them. So I kind of want to think of something else, but I think the girls both of them might like a mermaid thing. So I just have to, but it would take a while to make it for them, so I'd have to start now to get it done in time for their birthdays. 10 and 6? Okay. Yeah, it's probably about that's the same age range as my nieces. It's 2 girls though, and Sam's Creations, thank you for the host. Oh my god, for the raid! Holy crap! Hello everybody, and welcome to the Crochet Couch. Bats a swinging and guns a slinging. Minecraft creepers too. Oh my gosh. Welcome, welcome everybody. So you guys are all catching me as I'm finishing up the last of my my Space Invaders cushions. So this is our last guy. Orange, I don't know, we'll give him a name. We'll call him Orange Olaf. Got Orange Olaf being finished up right here. You're also catching me at the very end of my skein of yarn, which is now just a sad little floppy few strands. And these are the other finished objects, the other finished cushions. So, I'm probably gonna make a second set. So yeah, these ones are for my house here with my roommates and all. The second set I'll probably end up putting up on Etsy or something. Thank you so much.
Yay!
Mwah, mwah. Thank you, Swaybound, for the follow very much. Savava Blount? I'm so sorry, I don't know how to say that. So yeah, we're squaring off the edges now. So we finished the main portion and we're getting it all squared off to go ahead and match the cushion size. And then the next step after that will be to go buy more black yarn, because I don't even know if we'll be able to finish the squaring off. So right now we are just crocheting until we're all out of yarn, and then I have a blanket project I'll be bringing out. I love the heart, the pigtail girl with the heart. That's so cute, Sam. So what were you working on today? Do you have, let's see, were you working on more purlers, or do you have other...
Yay!
Poison Girl 6, thank you for that follow.
Yay!
Oh my gosh, so many! And Cyanine, thank you for the follow.
Yay!
And Citic, you guys are all amazing.
Yay!
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. And Rampolin, thank you all so much for those follows. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with the way these turned out, for me just kind of being like, I'm gonna make them, and I don't have a pattern. I have a pattern for the picture. The left shark, I'm not exactly a fan of, though. He kind of came as the default. Ninasaur, thank you. I may have to keep them for one of the notifications, though, because people do seem to like them. I think, yeah, I changed the sound for the follow from the default, but unfortunately everything else is default. Yeah, but left shark apparently will have to stay for something. Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and be lurky. I hope whatever you were making was turning out the way you wanted it to be. Oh no, slightly broken. What kind of broken? But if you don't want to talk, that's fine too. Clay earrings. Your stuff is super cute, so those will be really good. Broken Sam is best Sam? Oh no. Oh, okay, it's a good broken. Hooray! Well then I'm glad. Broken Sam is best Sam. Just let me know that I was definitely missing a chunk. I was missing a piece of whatever was going on. But thank you all for joining and hanging out for a bit and following. It's gonna be hard to follow up a stream like Sam's though. So we are chilling here at the Crochet couch with just some, you know, traditional, or maybe not so traditional, Christmas music and a crackling fire. And playing Yarn Chicken. Which I know I will lose this Yarn Chicken battle. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm so glad you do. Yeah, I was saying it's gonna be kind of weird when I'm not working on move on to something else other than Space Invaders, because that's what people have been seeing me work on for weeks now. All the Space Invaders. It's like I'm gonna have to make them just to keep the stream theme going. But like I said, yeah, I'm actually thinking about doing a second set to put up on Etsy. But I do have a list of other crochet projects. So after we run out of yarn today, because after I run out of black, it's going to be pretty difficult to make any Space Invaders anything. We're going to move on to the stripey blanket, and that pattern is actually in the chat. You could do !! pattern if you wanted to see it, otherwise it randomly shows up after a few minutes in chatting. I finished 2 sides now. Oh my gosh. Alright, so I need to move my stitch marker. No, I need to have a second stitch marker. Like I said, I'm trying to square this thing off, so I don't want to go too far while, you know, crocheting in circles. So when I get down to this first marker, I'll be turning around and going back and stopping at that second marker I just placed. Making sure that we have enough covering all this here. I would totally go and ask Jingles to make a quick yarn run for me. However, the Steelers versus Patriots game is on, and that would be like heresy for me to even think about asking him to step away from that game. I don't know if anybody else here is into football, but I'm guessing if you're here, you're probably not into at least not into the current rivalry that's going on. So he said it was 10 minutes into the game when he turned it on because we came back late from running some errands. And he's like, yeah, score was already 7-7. I'm like, this is already an exciting game, isn't it? 10 minutes into a game, and they're tied at 7. So it's, oops. Rivals. Alright. Get some stuff out of here. There we go. Now we are on our last little bit of yarn. It is sad day. In today's game, I have no idea what is going on in today's game. Oh, it's like it's like a boundary rivalry, like the Vikings versus the Packers kind of rivalry. Yeah, it's more of a location rivalry than I think necessarily than stats. But from what I understood about his chatting with someone else earlier today, is that they're playing for home field advantage at the playoffs. Who's gonna get it? Thank you very much for that, host. But other than that, I really don't know much else about the game. And thank you very much for that, host there. ReeseCon12. So what kind of projects is anyone else working on? If you're, I mean, I asked that because I figure if you're watching creative people, you're probably also a creating person yourself. And I know I would started off watching people craft while I crafted, so I kind of had like, you know, someone around who's doing something similar to what I was working on. Okay. I don't think I've actually ever been sad to finish off a skein of yarn. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, look at how much I did. I'm like, no, I have more to do. I was gonna make this a super short stream. I was gonna end it around 4:15 or 4:30. However, I can stretch it a little longer. I'll probably stretch it till... Yeah. So, when I finish off this black yarn, guys, I'm gonna have to call it for the evening. So, I'm sorry you guys ended up coming in with this raid, and then I'm gonna be leaving, but I have a lot of preparation for stuff tomorrow. It's gonna be a very busy day. I was saying before, I have an eye doctor appointment, and then I have a bunch of meetings at work, and I'm going scuba diving in the evening, and it's just gonna be very, very busy. Like, I'm actually nervous about how many things are going on. I just hope I can keep my cool and not, like, lose it. Alright. Black yarn is ended. I need to save a little bit. How do I want to do this? Actually, I think I want to just put a stitch marker in. Because I'm going to have to tie off the new piece when I find a new skein of yarn. Alright. Stitch marks holds it in place. Okay, so orange Olaf. Mostly done. Starting to be squared off. Alright, Mofo Silver. Yeah, I'll go ahead and check out her stuff, see what she does. So thank you everybody for joining. So sorry I have to cut it off. I'm actually very nervous about what tomorrow has in store for me. So I need to like do quite a bit more preparing. And we'll go ahead and find someone else to raid. So we basically got like a raid train going on here. So if you have any suggestions, go ahead and put them in the chat. And I'm gonna open up and see who else is on KBN. Thank you, Rampiane. Rampoline? Ramp. Thank you, Ramp. So, we'll go ahead with the outro bit. And anybody you guys can think of to host, go ahead and let me know. Okay, actually... Alright, I did say that I wanted Heaven's Last to still be live, guys, and he is. We are gonna go raid Heaven's Last. He is getting his hair cut for charity right now, so he is doing kind of an IRL stream, but he's also one of the Crochet members, so we are gonna go host him. He might not even see this, like I said, but it will be very amusing. Alright, so we're gonna go raid Heaven's Last, and we'll see how this goes, because this is really, he's like right now literally in the point of he's at the barber shop getting his hair cut. So I'm very excited. Alright, I'm gonna mute myself, I'm gonna head over to his channel, and you guys can enjoy the little bit of Christmas music left in the next, like, I don't know, 20 seconds. Have a great evening.
Charlie, la 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 la. Done we